back to the Nancy Drew series. This is Mystery at Lilac Inn. Immediately as this book opened, it reminded me of several things. First of all, it opens on another boating accident scene, which reminds me of the beginning of the third book. And so that was like, oh, and then you get to the actual Lilac Inn, and it immediately reminds you of the second book, which was the Hidden Staircase mystery, because there's basically Nancy has this friend, and she and her soon-to-be husband have just bought this new inn. They're trying to make it into a great place, and it's kind of old, so they're having to do a lot of renovations, and they need more money for that. But there's been some weird things happening at the inn. There's been somebody said that they've seen a ghost. There's been a lot of accidents, and of course Nancy has just had an accident with her friend Helen. And so anyway, they're kind of confused about what's going on. And so basically what happens is it throws a lot of characters at you in the first 5 pages of the book, and it really, your head is swimming, but eventually you get them all sorted out. Some of the people they mention at the very beginning of the book don't even show up in the book, so I don't understand what was going on with that. But anyway, basically what happens is that Emily is supposed to be getting an inheritance. It's from her mom. Her mom has died, so her aunt's there giving her this inheritance. And the big mystery is revolving around the fact that the inheritance is stolen almost as soon as this girl gets it, the girl who owns the inn. And so that's the main mystery. There's also another mystery where someone is impersonating Nancy Drew, and she's stolen her credit card. It's like, what do they call it? It's like a credit plate or something. Oh, I don't know. Of course, it's not called a credit card back in those days. But anyway, so she stole her credit card and is impersonating her and getting all sorts of, everybody's really confused, which is fun. I love that sort of impersonating mystery. That was something new that this book added to the whole dynamic of trying to figure out what's going on in this old house. And there's a lot of danger that happens. Now, the danger is undercut. Each of these books was written by a different person, and this person really is very cut and dry. It doesn't put a lot of emotion into what's happening. So when Nancy is faced with extreme danger, she doesn't really seem to react very much. I mean, it says sort of like she gasped or whatever, it tries to imply that she's feeling something, but her dialogue and her actions really imply a very stoic, very focused sort of person. So unfortunately, because of that, all the action scenes sort of fall flat because nobody's really freaked out. This horrible thing happens, and Nancy's like, well, we need to do this, and this, and that, this. And I'm like, this horrible, traumatizing thing just happened. Stop for a minute and be horribly traumatized. Are you a person or are you a robot? But anyway, regardless of that, it's a good mystery. I enjoy how everything's woven together. Everyone acts really suspicious in this book, and there's really good red herrings that make you kind of confused as to what's going on. Now, there is another annoying thing in that some of the mystery I feel could have been avoided if someone could have just calmed down. Other people were acting hysterical if Nancy was not. If people would just have calmed down and just told the police things, then probably it would have been fine, better off. But regardless, that's part of mystery sometimes, is that people have to be dumb. Another thing that this book adds that other previous books have not added is a love interest for Nancy. It's not Ned yet. If you know the series, you know that Ned is her longtime boyfriend. This is just a guy who happens to be hanging around, and he's sweet and obviously really into Nancy, to a little bit of a weird, creepy extent. Maybe not for 1950, but for modern day, it's a little weird, creepy extent. But regardless, you know, it's kind of cute to see Nancy like flirting with a guy and like it's I don't know, it's just sort of adorable. And it adds something different to the whole dynamic. Um, Overall, I don't think I liked this book as much as I liked Hidden Staircase because Hidden Staircase I think was much more like you knew the mystery. Nancy had a personality. It was much more focused. But this one I would say is just below that because it adds a lot of new things. Very interesting. Keeps you engaged and has a lot of action and cool stuff. So I definitely recommend Mystery at the Lilac Inn. It's a pretty good Nancy Drew book. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And next, I'm going to read the fifth and final Nancy Drew book that I'll read. It's called Secret at Shadow Ranch. And yeah, it'll be fun. So I'll see you guys for that.